What's going on, everybody? It's Virtual Handhelds 24. I just want to go over the D-brand case one more time. So I made a video yesterday going over this case in whole, and I know I went hard on it and way too long. It was like an hour, but I had originally canceled this, and they told me to try out the revision, and I was like, okay. So when it showed up yesterday and I put it on, I really didn't know what to expect, but I did know from the videos on YouTube that, the lip, if you have it on correctly and the lip is over it, as many people in the comments were telling me, it's like, yes, I know. The point is the lip creates the Joy-Con to detach because it's not fully there. But they did make the lip smaller than it was on the original version. Didn't go over that too much because I didn't have the original version to really show that off. But the whole point is just my feelings towards the case because of how much it cost. And I thought in my mind that this would just be fixed somehow. And I didn't know how they were going to do it. And when I opened it up and kind of put it together, I was like, it looked exactly like it did online. Like, it looks the same. But my understanding is that they made the connection better because they did make this closer, like instead of being further apart. So letting the Joy-Con get closer to full connection. However, and this is where I will apologize about going so hard on the D-brand case, because it's not their fault. In fact, they took all the criticism and they're like, we're going to redo it. And they did. And they did the best that they could. And I've been using it, and I like the way the case feels. Compared to everything else, it's got really good grip on the sides. Like, all this is texture grip too. So when you do hold it, you got all kinds of grip. And the back grips are nice because it's hard to show, but your fingers just align perfectly. So when you hold it, like I said before, your 3 fingers go down. You can rest your index finger here or up here and then move your hand up. And then you got 2 fingers there, and you got this finger, your, what's that? Your ring? No, your middle finger to rest here. And then it's just nice when you hold it like this. Now, nobody's going to do this, and I didn't want to do this yesterday, but someone in the comments is like, you didn't even do it, man. What are you talking about? You don't know. I'm going to do it, okay? Just not to prove a point, because like all these, you don't see them because the shots are always with the Android handhelds, but on the other side, I have all these PC handhelds. It's kind of messy, so don't hate me. But like right there, I have all those PC handles, right? And what is that? The tablet, the Y700, the Ally X, the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus, what a name, Jesus. The Z1 Extreme Lenovo Windows version, and the Z1 Extreme SteamOS version is in the front room because I was playing with that. Decided to keep it because it's awesome. But all those things are like something I would never want to drop because they're so expensive. They're not going to be replaceable. I'm not going to just spend another grand on one of those, especially with things coming out in the future. The funds for that are gone. It is what it is. Got to be careful. So with this is not, oh no, my Switch 2 is not as expensive. I'll just put that down. As I drop that, that's expensive as well. It's not as expensive. It's like half, $450, $500, depending on what you got. If you get it elsewhere, it's even more because, that's how it is with scalpers. But the point is, right now, this is harder to get. Everything that comes along with this is more expensive than just getting it all in one package because there's just many, many accessories to it, which is cool. But this is how Nintendo rolls. So I already bought like Joy-Cons just to be safe in case these break or whatever. I wouldn't be without them because I just didn't want to deal with that. So going back to the case, it's like I'm not hating on it. It's a great case, you know, and D-Brand did the best that they could. This is more like, I should have put this better yesterday. This is more of a default to the system. You know, the screen, there's a lot of controversy on the screen, but I'm not going to hate on the screen, okay? I think the screen, you know, maybe it'll be fixed in the future with a firmware update with the delay of inputs and the ghosting. I don't really notice it, but I do know I've seen videos where they show it off so you can see it. So it's like it's unseen once you've seen it, like, or you can't unsee it basically. And I hate that because I watched a couple of those. I was like, damn it. But anyways, besides the screen is just the whole magnetic thing is cool. It's cool as hell because, like, come on, let's be real, like, it actually makes a noise. And that's cool. But the device is bigger and it's heavier. And this is a Nintendo issue because these Joy-Cons are very light and small. So it works when there's nothing with the Joy-Cons. But even if you held the Joy-Con somehow without a grip, you know, just like this somehow, you'd still get the flex, right? Maybe not as bad, but the problem would still probably happen if you somehow had the strength of, you know, 3 guys in your hand and you could just hold it with 2 fingers and wiggle it. It would fall apart. So I'm not going to hate on D-Brand for that. The case does add a lot of weight to it. I don't have a scale like I said yesterday, but we'll do the test. So 2 things. If you want to get this case, I'm not going to stop you. I'm not going to tell you not to because it's your money. Do what you want. I like it. I'm going to keep it. I just wish that instead of pieces, they offered a version where it was just one solid case and you could just slip it in somehow. Because I would just never take the Joy-Cons off, to be honest with you. And I would rather just it be one solid piece. Kind of like how Switch 1 was. I just wish it was just one solid thing. I didn't show this off yet, but I do have one of these too. And everybody has like the Zelda one, right? But I was cleaning it earlier today and I was looking at it. I was like, why does this feel so comfortable in the hands? It has no case, right? It's got no butt, just like the Switch 2. No butt, no nothing. But because it's smaller, you know, it just, and obviously it's lighter, it's nice to hold. Like, it fits perfectly. So like even this one hand can do all the work, and like this can just go like that, or you can hold it like this or like this depending on what game you're playing. You don't need this. And the Switch 2 is just too big. It's like most people are just docking their Switch now. I loved the Switch before because it was my first experience with like getting into the handheld game. Besides having like Game Boy Advance and all that in the past, I just thought the Switch was the coolest thing ever, and then it opened the world for all of those, from those to PC handhelds and then so on. It all came from this, you know, not this specifically, but my Switch 1, it's like it all stemmed from that basically. It like just blew up. So going back to yesterday, it's just I shouldn't have went too hard on D-Brand because they, like I said, they did the best that they could, and it's more Nintendo's fault for making this design flaw, and I'll show you. So this is the revision. Yikes! The lip is there, so the Joy-Con is in correctly because I got burned for that yesterday. And I was in the comments. I was like, yes, I know, but that was the point, was to not put the lip over if I didn't have to. But then, as you saw, the whole thing comes up, so you have to have the lip. And either way, there's no fixing it. Don't do this. No one's going to do this, right? But if you hold it by just the Joy-Con, like I'm doing right now, there's no fingers back here, and I lift it up, there's bend, right? If I wiggle it, yes. And as you can see, I'm nowhere near this. I couldn't touch that if I wanted to with my hands like this. Do it on this side. Okay. Maybe I should do it the other way so you guys can see. Ooh, reverse break. Okay, let's do it that way. That way you can see that I'm not like tricking you guys. So if I go like this and I wiggle it. Oh wait, hold on. This, I just took the Joy-Con off. No, now my Joy-Con's messed up. Meaning it's got to get in there. It's got to have that lip. There we go. Okay. So lip is on. I thought I had the lip on too. Interesting. Okay. Do it this way. Oh, God, I don't want to do this. Like, this is why I didn't want to do this yesterday, because you wouldn't want to do it either. But to prove a point, we'll prove a point. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this because the way I'm holding it that way, it takes the Joy-Con off. When you hold it this way, it doesn't happen. All right. You're just going to have to take my word. Maybe I'll do it like this so you can see. You're just going to have to take my word. I'm not touching that part. In fact, I'll hold it just like this. Okay. So if I go like this enough times, and as you can see, I didn't hit the trigger. It just came undone. Obviously, no one's going to do that. However, there is good news. Besides, obviously, no one's going to do that. You're going to hold it like this, and the case feels great. If you were to be in a rush and you grab your Switch somehow by just the Joy-Con like this is good. So you could go like this, and it won't break. It won't, meaning it won't detach. You could wiggle it, you could shake it. It's good to go. You could carry it like a suitcase, except like my Joy-Con keeps coming apart here. So don't do that. But that wasn't the Joy-Con coming off. That was just this coming off. So don't do that. But if you were to grab it like that and lift it up vertically, not horizontally, so I don't get it. Like, maybe mine's just pushing out, but the lips are on. Like, look, the lips, all about the lips. Let's try it again. So if you pick it up, and I'll hold it so the Joy-Con doesn't come undone from the case, not from the Switch. It won't detach. So there is good news. So I am happy about that, and I am happy the way it feels, because honestly, the grips and the grittiness around it does make it very premium to hold now. It's already a premium device, but it's got nothing on the back, so when you play stuff, it sucks. With these bumps, like, it's not perfect, but it's better than anything else I've used. So I'm going to keep it. So going back to the whole deal, yesterday, you know, I just want to, like, you know, clear it up. Like, I didn't mean to go too hard on the D brand, because like I said, it's not their fault, and they did what they could to make it a better case with a better connection. And I do truly believe that, you know, even with the lip, it's smaller, so the connection should be stronger. It's just the way Nintendo made this. I mean, magnets are magnets. I don't know what kind of magnets they are. They're strong magnets, but the Joy-Cons are very light compared to how heavy the Switch is. So there's a strong connection when there's nothing on the Joy-Con. But even since this one comes off so easily, let's just take it off. Let's see if... Get that shit out of here. Alright. And obviously it's not going to be totally fair because it's got all this extra weight. But... And I can't really... This is what I was talking about. Like, I'm going to break my fingers. But if I go like this, it does the same thing, right? Might do a little less without the case, but it's still going to bend. And if you do this enough, it's going to just come undone no matter what. So... I want to clear the air about that. Like, I feel bad because people were leaving me comments talking like, hey, you didn't do the lip right, and, you know, Deep Brain already said this and that. So, okay, you know what? I thought about it. And I was like, yeah, I went a little hard on Deep Brain. It's not their fault, because I thought about it. It's like, this is Nintendo's fault for this crazy wackadoodle design, because as cool as it is, and I think an Android device did this way before Nintendo did. It just didn't work out good for them because of it was the buttons. I forgot the name of it, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It had a good chipset. What was the name of that? You leave a comment. I totally forgot about that. But that thing was cool because it had, I think it had better magnets too. They were like more pronounced. But it was expensive too. So, you know, they're going to put more money into it. This was, you know, manufacturing made to be as cheap as possible and as affordable as possible. And I think the price for this Switch 2 is, you know, it's right on point considering what you get. It's just like people are going to soon find out major flaws with the system, just like they do with every device. And, you know, it is what it is. That's just how things get improved. Same thing with the Killswitch case. Like they just made this less thick, and it's like they didn't shave it down, but they shaved it down. They made this less tall. But these magnets are just not strong enough to like support the whole switch like that. So it's, you know, but obviously you're not supposed to hold it that way either, right? But the way it feels, if you just hold it normally, you're good to go. And if you pick it up, just pick it up like a suitcase. If you have to just pick it up with one hand, you could definitely pick it up like that, shake it around. Maybe don't shake it around. And obviously kind of like make sure you put, sorry, you got buttons on this side, but make sure you put some pressure on the Joy-Con and the grip so the grip doesn't like slip out, because it does on this side because of the weight. Even with that little lip, it still slips out of the Joy-Con casing, which is nuts. Obviously, I'm not going to do any of that. I just wanted to show it off because my concerns were real yesterday, and I didn't want to steer anybody the wrong way, you know. But I went too hard on Dbrand because they did the best that they could, and this is more of a Nintendo issue, design flaw with the magnet Joy-Cons. We'll see what happens in the future. It's maybe Nintendo, you know, thought this was a good idea. It kind of is. It kind of isn't, just based on weight to, you know, the Joy-Con strength of the magnet is just kind of unbalanced. It's a little heavier than what the magnetic can hold in certain angles. But when no grip's on, you can't really grab it by just the Joy-Con, or you shouldn't. You grab it like this, or you grab it like that. It's overall big ass device. I mean, it is what it is. So yeah, I think Dbrand did a good job. I'm not gonna lie. But I really thought that I wouldn't have to worry about this. I didn't really do too much testing without a case and seeing how strong the Joy-Con was. But then there's videos I've seen recently too where you could just take the Joy-Con off. Like you just, with strength, you could just take it off. Like I could probably do it right now. If I try hard enough, I don't want to. I just don't want to do this kind of stuff to my Switch just to prove it. I didn't want to do that test either. It's an expensive device. It's supposed to be adult kids toy. And this toy is too expensive for me to like mess up. And it's not falling from here to there on the Retro Handheld's 24 matte, which is nice and soft. It's the thing on the inside that I don't want to mess up. That's how it's reading the buttons and everything. It's got wiggle room, but it's, again, not supposed to be, you know, that might be another flaw. We'll see. So can you move the Joy-Cons around with the case? Not that much. If you try wiggling it like this, there's no wiggle room. It's just when you put all the weight on one side, as you can see, it'll bend. But it'll bend regardless of case or not. That's my point. So I hope this video like clears that up. I didn't mean to go too hard on Dbrand. It is a really good case. I do like the way it feels. I would never suggest doing what I just did, just to keep your Switch safe. And don't take risks to prove a point like I did. And it's not anything against Dbrand. It really is the way that this was designed. That's just a Nintendo issue. And I'm not going to say anything about Nintendo because they're great and they do what they want to do. So let them do whatever they're going to do. And it is what it is. But this magnetic structure connection thingy, I think is cool, but I don't think it was the most secure idea for this kind of device. It's really cool. It's awesome. but this is much bigger than that Android device I was talking about, and I'm sure it's much heavier. And I don't think the magnets are quite as big as they should be. They should probably be bigger, like a really strong connection. But I don't know. Leave a comment. If you guys have a Legion Go, I think those have magnetic controller detachments. I don't want to call them Joy-Cons, but I guess they're Joy-Cons. If you guys have a Legion Go, let me know how strong the connection is. I'm sure that thing's heavy as hell, and you know, it's the screen, I think it's like the same size, if not it's a little bigger than this actually. That's got to be way heavier than this, and I wonder if you can pick it up by the side and have any problems with that, or if it has a locking mechanism. I don't know about just a regular Legion Go. I just have the Legion Go S's, so let me know. Leave a comment about that. I'm curious, because this magnetic thing I feel like is a design flaw, but it's becoming a very popular feature on handhelds, which I'm not so sure I like. Yeah, let me know about that. And again, I apologize yesterday if I came off the wrong way with the D-brand case. It's just my expectations were too high, I guess, for a flaw that's not their fault. Again, they did the best that they could with the situation that they had to deal with, which was the Nintendo structure with the magnetic Joy-Cons. And I feel like they did do a good job. It's just an expensive case, so you just, obviously from this video and other videos, just don't do what I did if you're gonna get this case. I would advise you to get the revision 2, but I think they're just sending those out now. And if you have the revision 1, just ask them to send you the updated Joy-Cons, and I'm sure they will. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I'm gonna get some games going tomorrow, see what other secret console games we get going to, maybe some win later in Game Hub. But thank you so much for watching. You guys have a great rest of your night. Take care.